No problem. Thanks for your message. See you soon. Seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay.
I have class. I have class.
All right. Sorry, don't mind me. I'm just talking to myself. Which is always, people say that's the first sign of madness when you talk to yourself, but I talk to myself all the time. Okay. Teaching. Yep. Here we go. Good. Right. I can look at everyone for the time being. There might be a couple of students that come a little bit later. All right. So I'm admitted student. Thank you for that. Cool. So what we'll do is we'll finish off this prepositions activity, and then we will we'll move into the paraphrasing task, and then what we'll do is I will begin the I'll begin to introduce the mini project that we will be doing as a class, so that you can begin your preparation for your little presentation that you will do in week 6. Okay, so we're in week 2 now, and then in week 6 you'll do a little presentation, but we'll begin preparing for that probably in the second half of this class. Okay. Any questions? I'm a little bit sneezy this morning. I rode into Swinburne, and the autumn leaves are very beautiful, but they've made my nose a bit sore.
Sorry to hear that.
I've got a very sensitive nose.
What?
Yep. Yeah, it's just change of seasons. Anyway, cool. So we need to put in prepositions here. All right. What do you think might go into the gap? So the first one we have here is on. Power production test plant started operating on Lake Kivu in 2009. The plant draws water up from 300-meter depth. What do you think goes?
And.
To.
So,
Into.
and is the conjunction, so we need a preposition.
Into.
To.
To.
Into.
You think into? Any other ideas?
With.
Through, maybe.
Through. Very good. Why through?
Because it's a
It's
pipe.
in the context.
Yes, it's in the context and it's a pipe.
Yeah.
How do things move in a pipe? They move through a pipe. Very good. All right. Cool. Good job. Okay. Now, with prepositions, they are not as important as word forms in terms of producing accurate language, but they can provide context and they also can provide greater and increased vocabulary. Okay. Cool. So can you please do your best to fill in the gaps with the correct preposition on your own? And then in 6 or 8 minutes, we will check as a class. Put those instructions in the chats.
Can you please share the file? I missed it.
Sure. Just give me 1 second.
Okay.
Yeah. Please. We will check in about Zaid, I will send that through. Now, just creating another share link. Just remember to download the document once you have downloaded once you've got access to the shared link. And that will give you all the notes from Monday's class as well. That link is now chat. Okay, good.
I ask.
Do you have a question? No? Maybe 1 or 2 more minutes and then we'll review answers. All right, guys, let's take a look. Number 2. Methane is then sent
Two.
to, yes, good.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, good. We send things to places, okay? Send something to somewhere. That's the structure. To a surface pipe to shore where it is burned in a methane-fired generators designed.
To
Right.
produce again.
To produce.
Very good. Okay, so produce is a verb. Okay, because it's a verb, we often use the particle to beforehand. Okay, very good. This first test plant can produce.
Up to.
Yep,
Up to.
very good. Okay, so a range from 0 to 5 MW, and the full first scale power plant will produce.
About.
Good. Yep. Excellent. Okay, about or around.
Okay.
Okay, so these are
Is it
prepositions.
about?
You could use.
Okay.
That's technically an adverb. Same with approximately. So we're just trying to focus on the word forms of prepositions, but they are still good answers. Okay, good. This amount of power will double the current power output of Rwanda, and that power will be 5 times cheaper than the diesel they now burn.
More, half. More.
4. Okay, they now burn 4 power.
Okay.
Okay, so here this is about purpose. The prospect of such great generation of cheap power has now altered planning. Purpose
4.
again. Yay!
Half.
No, 4 again. Yes.
Again, yeah.
So it's okay. I'll just put a little note here. We are using 4 here to help introduce a purpose. Okay. And I'll put in a little note here. Ditto. Ditto means same.
Okay.
It's a little bit informal, but we're all friends, so it's okay. For power needs and availability in other East African countries. Number 8.
Also.
As.
So also is an adverb, but as is good, okay? As the methane is withdrawn over time,
Yeah.
the danger
For surrounding population.
I would say the danger for or the danger to.
Two. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, both are okay. The
Okay.
danger to surrounding populations decreases. Thus, the time bomb in the lake may actually be a salvation for this very poor and developing part of the world.
Sorry, just a quick question. I've used for number 8 since the methane. Is it wrong?
Nope.
Since like adverb as well.
You want the rule?
Okay.
Yeah, all good.
No, I don't. Let me just check. No, since it's a preposition, it can be used as a conjunction and an adverb as well. But I think since is okay. We would probably use as. I think as is probably a bit more common and a bit more natural, but since is also okay. Cool. Question 10. One of the most interesting aspects
Of the lake.
Yep, good. One of the most interesting aspects of the lake cube of power generation is related.
Two.
Very good.
Hmm.
Sorry, I just heard a student arriving. Just want to check that they've been let in. Yeah, okay, good. Someone has let them in. Thank you. Related to its sustainability. Because the lake is producing methane, the methane gas pressures are increasing over time. There is the possibility to withdraw just enough methane for power generation.
To balance.
Very good.
Yeah, to balance.
Very good. Okay, good. So we've got our verb again, so we need to balance the natural methane production. If this is done correctly, it would be a brilliant success story.
To burning and nature.
We wouldn't.
From
Story.
By burning.
What are stories? What do stories tell?
About.
Very good.
Oh,
Ah.
wow.
What an excellent clue I gave you.
Yeah,
What
I
the
got it
story
wrong.
That's the
tells.
exact answer.
What is a story? See, story. Yes, stories are about. Yeah,
Someone. Yeah.
stories are about good preposition teachers. Ha ha ha.
If you say success story in turning a natural disaster, is there a second answer or something?
It would be a brilliant success story.
In
I think we would use in there as well. I think about is better though, because yeah, it's sort of more specific. In's kind of just a bit vague. I feel like we use out's just a bit more direct. Okay, in turning a natural hazard.
Into.
Very good. Yep. All right, into a sustainable operation that both reduces the hazard and provides great benefits.
at the same time.
All right. Cool. Any questions, folks?
Cool.
All right. Cool. All right, let's keep moving. So I've got these WH clauses, okay? So these refer to relative pronouns, i.e. what, which, when, who, where. All right. So I want you to look at the two sentences, and can anyone explain what the difference is?
I think the first one is a question. The second one is a statement.
Second one is an informative one.
Yep, good. Okay, good. This we would use to paraphrase where what is replacing an object time. Cool. It's also a statement and not question. All right, that's good. All right. Cool. So what does how mean?
How means about what? How
Yep.
did this happen? Yeah.
Yep. How did something happen? Okay. And beginning with M. Second letter E. Me.
Methodology.
Methodology is too long, but method is good.
Method. Okay.
Yeah. Very good. Methodology is very scientific. Okay, cool. All right. Excellent. So method refers to how we do things or a method. How many?
Numbers.
Yep. Countable or uncountable?
Countable numbers.
Very good. Okay. So countable quantity. Well, not quality. Okay. Countable quantity. How much?
Price. Money.
Yes. And is money countable or uncountable?
Countable.
Uncountable.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah.
It's countable, isn't it?
Well, but we say how much money, how much rice, how much bread, how much coffee.
Yeah. Yeah. How much sugar?
How much sugar? How much do you earn each week? How much do you save each week? You can put a figure on it, but we don't count it necessarily. Yes. How much sugar? That's right. All
When
right.
you answer, you put you will answer by 2 spoon or 3 spoon.
Well, that's when you say
How
yes.
many
Like,
spoon?
yeah.
of
How many
sugar?
tea? That's right. How many teaspoons of sugar do you put in your tea?
Yeah, in that case, you've added the unit of measurement. That's why you use, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many teaspoons of sugar? Yeah. But you would, if you are asking for a more general question or a more open question, you'd say, how much sugar do you use or do you put in your coffee or your tea? And they could say, no, I don't put any sugar, or I don't put any sugar, or I put in 1 teaspoon of sugar, or I put in many teaspoons of sugar if they do not want to disclose how much sugar they consume. Since sugar consumption is often a taboo subject. People like to keep their sugar consumption discreet.
Yeah.
Some people. I consume sugar in the afternoon because I feel a bit tired in the afternoon sometimes.
Sugar with coffee is the best.
I don't like sugar with coffee, but I like.
If it's a black coffee, yes, no sugar. But with milk, I add sugar.
Yeah, I like having a sweet piece of food with coffee.
Wow.
Yep.
I feel like they complement each other quite well. All right, what about how much plus adjective?
Adjective like what?
Think
How
about
heavy?
like,
Yeah. How?
yeah, okay, yeah.
It's describing something like how beautiful you are.
How fast?
Right, that's an interesting question. How beautiful are you? Very.
I wouldn't put a question. I'll put a sentence.
Yes.
How beautiful you are.
Yes. How heavy is, you know?
How old are you?
Yes. Good. How old are you? What was another one that someone said? Oh.
How are you?
Oh, wow.
How are ours a verb? And then you would use an adjective to describe how you are. You would say, I am
How
good.
clever is he? How
Yes.
clever is he?
Yeah. How clever is he? How cold is it?
Oh, okay, cool.
Like that. How close is your work to your home? Okay. Just like that. Right. Great. Good job. Cool. So we use them instead of a noun in place where we would normally use a noun as an object. All right. So what we're trying to do is create questions with the WH words. Okay. As I mentioned before, subject and a verb. And these all relate to quantities. All right. So another example might be my phone bill tells me how many calls I made. Okay. Might be an example using how many. Ashley showed me how to paraphrase using WH words more effectively. Excellent example, hey?
Mm-hmm.
How much?
How much money do you have?
Yep, that would be a question. How much money do you have? That's a really personal question, so I won't tell you how much I have. So here, and it's not a serious response. I'm just showing you as an example. But I'm also not going to tell you. Not what I will tell you is not enough. Now,
Not much.
No one says enough.
you know, I've got a comfortable life. I can go to the football on Saturday. That's
Okay.
nice. I'm happy then.
Uh,
And my team keeps winning, so which is also
in Australia, it's common to say the opposite of the answer instead of answering the actual answer. How do you do? Not bad.
that's the most negative or honest response you can provide. Yeah, not bad. So you might be feeling terrible, but you can only say not bad. So I'm really good, I'm good, not bad.
Yeah.
When really it's like really good, good, terrible, i.e. not bad.
How far is it? Not far.
Yes, a very vague, yes. Not far, but really it is far. Especially when you leave Melbourne and like when you leave Victoria and you see other parts of Australia, like in South Australia or in the Northern Territory, and you realize how big Australia is. Yeah.
I can realize it every time I look at the map of Australia.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So maybe something like, I don't know how far it is from Melbourne to Darwin. Okay. Cool. All right, so you got some examples there. All right, cool. So we'll do a little bit of paraphrasing practice. Excuse me. So what I want you to do is I want you to paraphrase these sentences. Just a reminder, what does paraphrase mean?
Rewriting.
To
Yep.
explain something using different words, but
Very
to
good.
keep the main meaning and main idea.
Yeah, that's right. Just to keep the same meaning. Okay.
Yeah.
So using your own words to explain something without changing the meaning. Okay, so when you paraphrase, you do a variety of things we can use a variety of tools to help you effectively paraphrase, like changing sentence structure, synonyms, verb tenses, word forms, active to passive, things like that. But here we're just focusing on the WH words. All right, cool. So question one, I don't know the quantity of the liquid in the tube. We've changed this to I don't know how much. Why did we use how much?
Because it's uncountable, the liquid.
Yes, and we're talking about the quantity. Yeah. Good. Yes, we are talking about the liquid, but we're talking about the quantity of liquid. All right.
Yeah.
Good. So I don't know how much. This is like our big subject. I don't know how much liquid is. That's our verb. Okay, preposition and then object. All right, let's look at number 1.
Right.
The scientists measured the amount of rainfall for 1 year.
You can say the researcher or
So the scientist.
What the scientists measured. Yeah.
measured or
Scientists measured the amount of rainfall.
How much rain
Good.
fall
Yep.
over a year?
Yeah. How much scientists was
Good.
the
measured?
scientist
The
how
scientist
much
the scientist measured
measured
how much rainfall
for all
there was 1 year.
or
Yep.
can we use instead of rainfall like precipitation or
Do you
Yeah, you could, but for this task, we're just trying to get you to change these. But yes, of course, precipitation's good too.
Want to ask a question?
Very creative. Yep.
Yeah. Is it applicable for us to use how much in all the sentences?
No, not all of them. No, just looking at them.
All right.
But you will have to use how much again.
Sorry.
Cool. That's right. The scientists measured how much rainfall there was for 1 year, or how much rain fell in 1 year.
Yeah, that makes
The rainfall amount is measured by the scientists that how much it rains for 1 year.
The rainfall that fell in 1 year was measured by the scientists. Yes. Yep. Yeah, that would be a passive. Okay. The rainfall that fell in 1 year was measured by the scientists. Okay, great. That is passive. Excellent. Okay, so you've got a variety of different ones. So like these in yellow, and then I'll highlight the quantities word or the WH word in bold. Cool. All right. So, yeah. So if you like, you can make them from, you can change them from
active to passive.
You can. Yep. But yeah, the real focus is changing things like quantity into how much.
Okay.
And numbers as well. Just be careful with countable and uncountable nouns. So toads might be countable. Happiness is probably uncountable. Same with grain. Okay. Cool. All right. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Give you guys, I don't know, 10 to 14 minutes for those.
All right.
1 or 2 more minutes.
افغانستان نور د جګړې میدان نه وي، نور دلته جګړه د نن نه هیڅکله پای ته ورسوله.
All right, let's take a look. Excuse me, number 2.
Yes. How many numbers of toads in Australia?
Yeah, almost. So,
Or the research calculated how many number of toads in Australia?
what about approximate?
Delete it.
You want to delete? Okay, good. I like your
Oh.
solution,
Yeah.
but I want you to include it.
Okay.
The researchers
Numbers,
calculated.
approximately.
How many?
Very good.
Okay. The approximate number.
Approximately
of
how
toads,
many?
How many?
So the researchers calculated approximately how many toads
Australia.
there are in Australia. Okay. Cool. Good. All right. Right, number 3. The study aimed to measure the level of happiness of employees.
Measure how much?
The level of how much happiness of employees measured.
No, I think they
Yeah,
said
it's a bit too long.
Oh.
The study aimed to measure
How happy?
How
Good.
many employees?
how happy,
Amount of happiness. Okay.
not the amount of happiness. Happiness is
Yeah.
it's difficult to measure, so we just keep it kind of general.
How happy are employees?
Yes, how employees are or were.
But I have a question concerning number 2 answer. You said the
Yes.
researchers calculated approximately how many toads are there in Australia. Isn't it how many toads are toads are in Australia? Do we need to put that there in the sentence?
No.
So why did you leave the there?
Because we need their
Is it because the researchers are plural?
there are means exist.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a little clause that we use to introduce the fact that something exists.
got a question.
We could, sorry, 1 second. We could also say the researchers calculated approximately how many toads are in Australia. That would also be okay, but there we are omitting there. There still exists.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if the item you are talking about is non-living thing, let's say like we are talking about stone or rock, can we use are there?
The researchers calculated how many stones or rocks. No, the only time we would say we would inverse are there is when we are asking a question, and structurally we shift the be verb to begin the sentence. So we would say, are there rocks in Australia? Or are there many rocks living in Australia? Or are there many toads in Australia?
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
Can we exchange between the words calculated and tally in this sentence, for example?
The researchers tallied. Yes. Tallied would be a synonym of calculated. Yep.
Yeah.
Tallied might be a little bit informal in terms of register, but it's definitely a synonym.
Measure.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So can I ask a question now?
Of course.
Ashley,
Yes.
please.
So just for number 3. So it's talking more about the level of happiness. So my understanding is the level itself. So I was referring to what level?
Yep. So what was your answer?
So my answer will be the study aimed to measure what level of happiness the employees are.
Yeah. Okay. If you've got different levels of happiness and you're familiar with them, so like they're written on a piece of paper or they're written in an infographic, sure. However, we don't really have that information. That's why I've kept it quite general.
Makes sense. Thanks.
Yeah, yeah. And I think you've got to be careful. Like, I mean, happiness is it's a tricky concept, and it's also a tricky thing to quantify and measure. So I'm not sure if it's useful to kind of say I'm 4 out of 5 happy, or I'm 3 out of 5 happy, or I'm 5 out of 5 happy, because yeah, it's a state in flux. That's my personal view. So yeah, I think just if we sort of talk about it in more general terms, like how happy employees are, and you could say, you know, they're okay, or they are moderately happy, or they are generally happy, things like that. Cool. All right, good. Question 4.
Sorry,
Yep.
happy in this context mean satisfied or going okay?
For question 3.
Yeah, for happy.
Well, we
means
don't.
like satisfy or going okay.
That's exactly my point. We don't know if it's referring to satisfaction. We don't know if it's referring to, you know, you might be happy with your work but unhappy with where you live, or you might be happy with your grades at school but you might not be happy with your job, you know. So we don't know what this is referring to. I think it's just a very general kind of vague question.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Thank you.
But what it does show is that you can use how when it is used in a general fashion.
Yeah. All right, yeah, thank you.
Anytime. Cool. Question 4. The paper details the amounts of grain sold internationally.
The paper gives details.
Yep.
The paper details of how much grain sold internationally.
Yep. The paper details how much grain. Yep.
For me, I was confused here, so I put the paper details the quantity of grain sold internationally.
Yeah, that's just the same as how much or amounts. Yep. The paper details how much grain is sold internationally. Yep.
Can we say how much grain was sold instead of is? Because sold is in the past, so
yes, that would be passive. Yep.
yes.
Yep. The paper details how much grain was sold. So I guess here paper is the subject, but when you change it to the paper details how much grain was sold, the paper then becomes the object. Okay, so you're sort of reversing the structure to make it passive. That is fine. All right, pretty good. Let's keep moving. Question 5. This book talks about the popularity of several color trends.
The book talks about how many color trends.
What about popularity?
How popular?
How popular? Yes.
Good. The book talks about how popular color trends are. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do that, and then I wanted to do that. Okay, so how popular, that's how plus adjective. Question 6, the findings include the number of research projects that exist on this topic.
The finding includes how many research projects exist. Is that okay?
It is.
Oh, good.
Okay, the findings include how many research projects exist on this topic. Okay, question 7. This article talks about the amount of time spent on homework.
Yeah. This articles, because I don't see need to move that. How much time?
Good.
Talk about how much time.
Good. This
Spend.
article talks about how much time is spent on homework. Okay, question 8. The scientists aim to measure the scariness of certain films.
How many? The scientists aim to measure.
Yeah, the scientists aimed
How scary.
aimed to measure how scary certain films are or were. Very good. Any questions, folks? Cool. All right. Let's share this link with you all so you have all of the data, i.e. the notes and the answers.
Sorry, Ashley, found it on the chat or coming to our?
Sorry, can you say that one more time?
It's not says we found it on the chat only.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's in the chat now. Cool. All right. Cool. Okay. I need a little nature break. So can we please meet back in 3 minutes and I will introduce the little project presentation?
Absolutely.
Yes, a nature break means bathroom break,
Yeah.
if you were unaware of that vocabulary. Yes, so 2 or 3 minutes, get yourself a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and a biscuit, maybe put the heater on or whatever. It's very hot in the office I'm in. Constant heating. But yes, I'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. Okay.
Yeah, no worries.
All right. We're back.
Yep.
All right. So once I've finished explaining this, I will share the slide with you. All right, so project information. So the goal of the project is to create a survey in your group and ask 10 or more people the questions. Depending on time and ease of survey and attendance and things like that, it might be possible that you can ask everybody in the class or possibly even your teacher. Remember, the bigger the sample size, the more interesting and more meaningful and varied and reflective the data. Then you will present your results to the class in the last week using pie graphs and the language you will learn this term, and you will summarize your findings. Okay. So we will probably do this in groups of 3 or possibly 4. You will design a survey of 10 to 12 questions and conduct it among other EPIC, that should say EPIC, not EPIC3, students, and present the results using a graph. Okay, so those results will be presented in week 6, okay, on the Wednesday. Soon we will look at an example survey, and then if we have time, I will form the project groups. If not, we will do this early next week. Then you will decide on a project topic and begin to create your survey. Groups of 2 need 10 questions and groups of 3 need 12. Okay. And then we'll begin constructing the survey. All right. So next week we will look at introducing pie graphs, okay, graphs which represent your data. You can use other graphs as well, bar graphs, so long as your information is easily viewable and visible, and we can kind of see it clearly, the data that you collected from your survey. Then we'll look at describing pie graphs in week 4 and using presentation language. You'll learn how to describe pie charts using a variety of language. And then I will check your PowerPoint, should you want me to check it, with 10 or 12 graphs reflecting your survey questions. Okay, we'll look at presentation skills, specifically on improving presentation abilities and methods, which will be useful for your work and also for your future study. And then in group 6, your group presentations will be done through Microsoft Teams, and we'll all watch each other's presentations and see what each group found from their research project. Okay. All right, so group presentations should be about 5 minutes. Doesn't need to be much longer than that. You will focus on presenting the questions you used in your survey. So when you present the questions you used in your survey, you're really just showing us the data you collected from the responses to those questions. All right, and then you present them using pie graphs or bar charts using Microsoft PowerPoint. Then you are required to interpret the data. So sort of briefly describe what this data means, or what it's showing, or what trends it's showing. All right. So we probably won't have time to do dot points 3, 4, and 5. However, we'll have plenty of time next week. What we will do is we'll look at an example survey, and we'll practice asking some survey questions in groups. And then on Monday, I think what we will do is we will work through choosing a topic and choosing a group and begin writing surveys. Okay. All right. So later, once you have produced your survey, we will begin asking respondents questions based on your survey. And then we'll record answers and begin to present our data. Now, you don't have to make a decision today, but I would like you to think about what possible topics might be of interest to you, or what possible topics might be of interest to your group. Okay. And that way you can choose one of your topics. So these topics: life in Australia, study habits of international students, motivation and attitude to study, tests and assessment techniques, improving English skills, perception of Australia, public transport in Melbourne, internet infrastructure, internet usage, time management. Your own idea is okay too. However, I would like to just know what it is before you complete it or before you begin. Last year's cohort, I think they chose something about perceptions of coronavirus vaccines or something like that, which was a really interesting topic. Maybe you're interested in flexible work, you know, on working from home versus working in the office. That was another topic that last year's cadets worked through as well. I don't really mind so long as you create a good survey and that your survey attracts meaningful responses. All right. Cool. Any questions?
Yes.
Charles.
For each topic we selected as a group, we need to 10 to 12 questions and ask for each question, ask around 5 to 5 people.
Yeah. So in your groups, you choose a topic, you produce a survey, and then you distribute your survey. Then you gather your data. Then you visually present your data. And then you make observations of the data. And then eventually you use language and a PowerPoint presentation to present your research topic overall to me in week 6.
Yeah.
But yes, it will take place over time. So yeah, it might seem like quite a lot that you need to do between now and then. However, it does come together quite nicely, and you've got plenty of support, and you can always ask me to. You can always ask me to check. Cool. So go. I'm just going to share the link with you. Change that to.
Hello?
All right. Cool. So now what we will do is we will look at a sample survey. All right. Cool.
Sorry, just a quick question. Are the topics randomly been allocated to us or?
No, so there are some suggested topics in the PowerPoint, and then your group, which. So your group will be formed. I don't think we'll have time to form it today.
Yeah.
But your group will choose a topic. It won't be randomly assigned. So the idea is you kind of just agree to choose. You agree on the topic. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So this particular survey was about accommodation. Okay, this is survey A. First, I want you to unscramble the question. Okay, so what is the question here?
What kind of accommodation do you have? Do you have now?
Yep.
Yep.
Good. Okay. What kind of accommodation do you have? All right. Good. All right.
We need to put now or at the end?
No, I'm just showing you. All right. Cool. So student 1, that'd be me. Okay. And if someone asked me what kind of accommodation do I have now, I would say okay, because I live in an apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So imagine you are asking this question. I am student 1. My name is Ashley. My answer is apartment. Okay. So it kind of follows that structure. Now, this is just for A, okay? Other students will have survey B. Let's look at question 3.
How long have you been resided there?
Okay, good. How long have
you resided there?
How long have you resided there? Okay, and my answer is months. I moved in last year. Good. All right. What about number 5?
If you had an apartment, what
Yep.
level you prefer? Is it low or high? Something like that.
Close, yeah. If you had an apartment, would you prefer a high level or a high or low level? Okay. I would probably prefer what do you think I would prefer? I live on level 2, but it's only a 2-level apartment block. So maybe high level?
For me, the lower one. It was easy to move.
Yes, so 2 levels good because I have a small view and it's quite nice. I've got a view of a park, and I don't have to go up too many stairs. All right, good. What about number 7?
What is the current accommodation? No.
What is the best
What
feature
is
of your
yep.
current accommodation?
Yeah, what is the best feature in your current accommodation? Great. What is the best feature?
Neighbor, maybe.
Okay. And I reckon the best feature of my accommodation is probably location. All right, good. So that is student A. All right, so that's how you would do it for that. How are we going for time? We're running out of time, but that's okay. Okay, yeah, I'm just going to save this in my little Epic folder so I can distribute it to you, and then I'll show you how to do survey B.
And sorry, Ashley, we could ask any person, neighbor, friends.
If you
No, it'll be. I'll get you to practice with our class. With our class. Yep.
In the class, that's easy.
Yeah. I mean, you're welcome. You're welcome to practice the survey you make on your friends or your neighbors just to see if it's a good survey. However, you'll have lots of opportunities to practice with your class.
Yeah, I prefer with the class.
You don't like your neighbors?
No, because it's random school. Okay, we take randomly. It is mostly neighbor, friends, colleagues. Yeah, to be more in general. Yeah.
All good. All right, cool. So I'll just share with you this link. Okay. All right, let's look at student B.
apologies, I got disconnected. Thanks for letting me know.
No, anytime. You're always welcome.
Thank you.
Why is that doing that? Cool. Just gonna say into yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So we did question 1 with student A. So the idea is student A and student B are sort of shifting questions around, okay? Let's just pretend this is me again. Now, obviously, you want to keep your data anonymous. That's just what we do in research. However, because we are classmates, it's good to kind of, you can sort of track who the different students were. But when you do your student when you present the findings from your survey in the class, please don't include any names. Cool.
Sorry, what do you mean? Like student 1, no name or none?
So it's okay when you're doing a practice survey to include names. However, in your final PowerPoint presentation, it's not appropriate to include names because we want to keep the data private.
Okay, so even including, let's say, the names of our colleagues at work, we can't include anybody's name, just the first name or so.
You can for practice, but in your presentation, if you want to refer to, if you want to refer to someone, call them cadet 1 or colleague 1 or student 1. Don't use their personal information.
All right. Okay. Sorry. Thank you.
And
No,
Ashley, apologize. I think you already mentioned that. Just to double check, the survey is to be conducted not only with the cadet students in this group, but could be with anyone that we know. Is that how it is?
No, just with the cadets in this group.
Yeah.
Okay. That will be enough. Yeah. However, you're welcome to trial the survey on anyone you know, just to, just for your own curiosity, or just to test the validity or the quality of the survey.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Number 2.
What's your current accommodation?
It's not asking what.
Do you like your current accommodation?
Very good.
Do you like?
Yeah. Do you like your current accommodation? Okay. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now, obviously, your questions will be about your topic, and you might present more options, and your questions might be more open. Okay, so what is your current accommodation, or what do you like most about your current accommodation? Okay, and that way you can generate more interesting responses. All right, number 4. Yep.
Would you prefer a house or an apartment?
Okay. Would you prefer a house or an apartment? Right.
For me, house or garden and backyard.
You actually froze out.
I think the next question is, do you have a laundry?
My computer died, so now I'm using the desktop. My apologies.
That's all right.
Maybe Swinburne can buy me a new one. That'd be a good survey question. Should Swinburne buy Ashley a new computer?
Yes.
Yes. No. Maybe. I would prefer not to say. prefer not to say is always a good question. A good option. Yes. It literally.
Taking door number 3.
Yeah. It literally just died. All right. Cool. But for every problem, there's a solution. Okay. So this was. Do you like your question? This is. Ooh, this is. What would you prefer? All right. Cool. I would probably prefer a house, but I live in an apartment. That's just the way it is. 6.
Do you have a laundry?
Do the question?
Do you have a laundry in your place?
Very good. Do you have a laundry in your place? Yes.
Yeah.
But it's in the bathroom. It's one of those bathroom laundry things. Okay.
How much do you pay for services per month?
Yep. Very good. How much do you pay for? All right. Cool. All right. So that's how you do it. All right. All right, so on Monday, what we will do is we will spend some time practicing asking survey questions and recording data. Okay. Then what we will do is I will form the project groups and you will decide on your topic and then you will begin to produce the survey. Okay, create the survey.
Good.
Cool. Sorry, I hoped that we would have some time to practice asking survey questions today. However, my computer dying on me like that has not been helpful. So my apologies. I will try to upload the recording of the meeting too, because I was recording the meeting on my laptop. I'm not sure if it will record, but I will post a link in the chat if it does record.
Well, it shows that it is recording, so don't stress. No.
Yeah, it says that it's recording, but I'm using a different computer, so I'm just sort of wondering what's going on. Anyway, thank you. Good. Thanks again for all your hard work. You've got a copy of doesn't look like you've got a copy of student B in there yet. I will upload student B into the chat. Yeah. It's asking me to send invitations. That's annoying. Okay. I'll do that from my laptop, which is actually now working. So I'll share with you student B. And yeah, if you have any other questions, please send me an email. Otherwise, have a wonderful morning, a good rest of your day, a good rest of your week, and a good weekend. And I'll see you bright and early on Monday morning.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks, Ashley. Thank you.
Share student B.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Can you share student B?
Yes, I'm going to share student B. I just need to share it from my laptop.
Okay.
Yeah. So just check the chat in about 2 minutes.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Ashley. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thanks, you as well. Cheers.
Thank you.
Okay.